Nation Podcast. The B Nation Podcast, Miguel Tello.
114 episodes, more than 150 hours of content, and 224 music guests. This is the story so far of the B Nation podcast, a show that started without being planned on the very first day of the pandemic. The show was meant to be a spin-off of the app The B Nation that represents all the artists that they want to be part of the nation, all the artists that they bring the best new music from around the world. Never in our best dreams we thought that this show will be a success. We have so many new listeners that they are starting to catch up on the B Nation podcast. For that reason, we decided to do a 5-episode special called Wrap Up, where we are going to do a recap of all the highlights that we had so far over the last 7 seasons. This is the B Nation podcast. I am Miguel Tello, and we are presenting you our episode 10. This one is called Wrap Up Episode 5 with the best moments of season 7, and let me give you a huge welcome to another episode of the B Nation podcast, where we are bringing you the best new music from around the world. Season 7 was indeed the season where we've been lucky. Due to circumstances out of our control, it was a short season, but it was the one where we experiment a huge growth and also the one where we have the most listened episode in our history. We started the season reminding anyone can be part of the nation. William Derela and Gigi Grombacher came to celebrate our episode 100, and we had a wonderful chat about music industry and much more. Andrew Lambro, Tag Daly, AJ Smith, Maggie Sabo, Sam McPherson, Dasha, Milo, T. Bello were the guests that we had on this season, plus 2 that they're the ones that we selected for this last wrap-up episode of the B Nation podcast. We started this year being obsessed with this band called Niley, that they came to the show with such a fantastic track called Lose My Number, and we had the privilege to have them on the show. Now, let's remember the best moments of our interview with Niley. Our next guest is always a pleasure to have here on the show. Bands that we love them so much, and especially that we play songs like Lose My Number. An honor to have on this premiere of the B Nation podcast to Johnny from Niley. How are you, man?
Hey, man. How you doing? Thanks so much for having me.
Welcome to the B Nation podcast. Honestly, I feel very lucky right now to obviously to speak to you, because Lose My Number has been a song that we play several times here on the show. It has been a song that it has been hugely demanded here. And how do you feel about that? What is Lose My Number for you guys?
Dude, thank you so much, man. It's super flattering to hear. I feel like I need to hire you to be my hype man when I'm feeling down. I'm feeling down someday. I need to just call you up and have you hype me up. But it's crazy to hear, man. I mean, obviously we're from America, so I think just knowing that you guys have been spinning the song a lot is sort of surreal, because we've only been over to the UK once and we were opening. So, man, it makes us feel really good. Obviously, you work on these songs, you write songs that mean something to you. And so to have them be well received is it's just such a bonus, man. So we really appreciate you playing the song and all the support.
Let's talk a little bit more about the story of you guys, because Niley, how did you guys decide to be Niley?
Yeah, well, so the guitarist Joey in the band and myself are cousins, and we grew up together about an hour apart, and we were super close since we were born. And we always loved playing music. We just kind of did it for fun in grade school and high school, just after school, get together in his parents' basement or my parents' basement, and it's just what we did for fun. I don't think we ever really thought about it too much more than that. And then we were in a couple different bands just in high school and stuff, played a few shows locally, but it was just sort of something we did for fun. And Nightly really kind of happened by mistake, to be honest. We moved to Nashville just to get better at music and songwriting, and felt like there was more opportunity here for us than Philadelphia, where we're from. So Joey and I, like I said, we were in a couple of other bands, and then all those bands sort of fizzled out and everybody grew up and got real jobs. And then Joey and I just didn't really want to quit, but we we had this trip booked to LA, and we wrote a couple songs just for fun. We didn't have any band in mind. Nightly hadn't been conceived yet, and we made, I think, 4 songs, and it was like right before Christmas break, so probably like October, November, and we went home, and we were both listening to the songs a ton without really like telling one another that we were doing that. And we got back together in January after the holiday, and we were just like, man, this feels special. It feels like we should start a project around these songs. And we were kind of thinking about it, and around that time we met Nick, our drummer, in Nashville. So, we were kind of sharing with him songs that we were writing, and then just became close. And it all really happened by accident. We got asked to open this show for a radio station in Nashville, and so we were just the opener, and we didn't have a band name, we didn't have any songs out or anything like that, and we ended up opening this show, and the radio station really liked the songs we played.
To just listen to the best moments of our interview with Niley here on the B Nation podcast. And now let's remember the best moments of our interview with a huge superstar, the legend, and the reason why our episode 5, called Copyright Cases, is the most listened episode so far of the B Nation podcast. We have the enormous privilege to have Chantel on the show, and these are the best moments of our interview with Chantel. It's one of the biggest honors of my life to be able to chat with an absolutely legend that keeps creating music. She is the one. Please welcome to the B Nation podcast, Chantel. How are you, girl?
Hi, I'm well, thank you.
I just want to say that it's an honor that you are here on the show. Thank you so much for being on the B Nation podcast.
And thank you so much for having me.
Right. So today we're going to talk about the latest 2 tracks that you recently released. I have a special interest to talk about No More, and obviously as well the previous one, that is Be The One. But I want to ask you one question, Chantel. I think last year, it was the first year that you constantly keep obviously creating more music, like the full year that where you were releasing a lot of music. So how was the outcome for you? Like, if you have to describe it in a few words, what it will be your outcome of 2021?
Well, yeah, you're right, because I have, it's like, I know a lot of people said I kind of like fell off the map, because I wasn't releasing music for a long time, and then all of a sudden it was just like every month like a new song. But I mean, I guess you could say that's one of the blessings in disguise of the pandemic, because I had so much time, because I wasn't traveling, I wasn't touring, I wasn't I wasn't doing I wasn't as busy as I usually would be, so I had a lot of time to create new music. And I just felt like, you know what, people could really use something to get them through these tough times. So I decided to just, I didn't care what happened with the music. I kind of just started releasing new songs as like a gift to the people who always supported me. So hopefully help them get through the pandemic and all, the difficult times that we've been going through. I want to take all these songs and basically put them all together with a bunch of remixes. And I'm going to release an EP maybe at the end of 2022, or maybe like the top of 23. I don't know yet, but I'm definitely going to put them all together, in one project, one album.
Let me ask you a question, because I feel like if I don't ask you this question, I will, as a music lover that I am, I think like I will not be okay. I think one of the biggest, for me, in my opinion, right, great things that we have in music is that when we create music, that it becomes timeless. It becomes on a way where, like, you create music, it's the same feeling.
Yeah.
I don't know, like maybe 20 years later, like 15 years later, and X amount of time later, I think that magic that music has, right? For me, one of the biggest things that you have is that, like, due to obviously to your career, like, like people still like keep obviously talking about the song, about Impossible. And obviously, like, I feel like, for example, like, I mean, right now in YouTube, like, people say, I'm listening this still in 2022, and it's like a magic, like a magic song. How does it feel to have, my question is like, how does it feel to have that responsibility? Because it must be something amazing for an artist, right?
Yeah. I think every artist's dream is to be able to create music, you know, like last forever, you know, like how we still listen to Bob Marley and Whitney Houston and Michael Jackson. You know, we still listen to so many older artists, maybe who aren't even alive anymore. And I kind of feel like there's like two things that every artist wants. They want to maybe win awards and then they want also want to make music that becomes